Welcome back to Teal House Farm. It has become our tradition on holidays to use the Dollar Tree dinners videos to make a real simple meal because Sam now works basically every major holiday, which means we end up celebrating them on a different day. So using these recipes from Dollar Tree dinner, we run to our local Dollar Tree, we get some really simple ingredients, and we put together a Thanksgiving meal for our family without all the stress and prep and all that work, because we'll have our big turkey Thanksgiving later. The kids have so much fun helping with these. Since the recipes are all videos, they can follow them really easily, and usually they only have 2 or 3 ingredients. We can do this in about 40 minutes if you start with the dessert. So we're gonna get started. We needed 1 box of cobbler mix from the Dollar Tree, and then 1 can of a fruit filling, and we're gonna use cherry filling. You mix that mix according to the instructions on the back. So get it all mixed up, and then we have a square 8x8 pan, and we're gonna pour 4 tablespoons of melted butter into the bottom of that pan. And then pour that mixed up cobbler topping that Isla just made into the bottom of the pan actually. And then we're gonna open our can of pie fillings. We did cherry, but honestly you could use any fruit you like. And we're gonna just kind of drop little clumps of it all over that filling that we made. Kind of try to spread it out. The cans at the Dollar Tree are a little bit smaller, so you do want to make sure it gets spread around. We're going to put that in the oven on 350 for, check it after 30 minutes, but it might take up for 40. Next, we're going to make the spinach cream cheese dip with some little biscuits to go with it. So we're going to open this can of spinach. We're going to drain it really well and dump it into a bowl. We're going to mix that with 1 block of softened cream cheese. Our Dollar Tree didn't sell cream cheese. She shops at a much larger Dollar Tree, so I did have to go to the regular store for that ingredient. But usually a larger Dollar Tree will have cream cheese blocks in the $3 section. Once we get that can open, again, we're going to drain it really well and then add it to that softened cream cheese. And then we're using the spice packet from the biscuit mix and adding it to the cheese. And we're going to mix all of that together. And then we're gonna put that aside for a minute, and we're actually gonna mix up the biscuits. You're gonna mix the biscuit mix just with some milk. Use the amount of milk it says on the back of the box, but skip the other ingredients if that makes sense, because we've used the herb mix in the cheese. We won't have it to make the biscuits. So in goes the powder, in goes about 2/3, maybe that's 3/4 cup of milk, and you just mix it together. It makes a stiff dough, and then using a large little cookie dough scoop, I guess is what you call them, we're just gonna plop it onto our 10-inch cast iron pan. I told Annie try to do as best as she could to make a circle. She did a pretty good job. It's okay if they touch, it's okay if it's not perfect. The idea is that the kids get to make some fun recipes, to be involved in making a family dinner with mom, to celebrate Thanksgiving even though dad can't be home today because he's working. So we're just gonna plop those all around. The mix made 12 or 14 of these little dough balls, and they actually rise up pretty big when you put them in the oven. The cobbler is cooking in the oven. We're actually going to add it to the oven on the same temperature. This cooked for about 20 minutes. After she got all of the dough balls on there, we go ahead and we put the spinach dip in the middle because this needs to bake as well, and this is just kind of a 1-pan bake, and that gets slid into the oven until those biscuits are all the way cooked and the dip is nice and hot. So again, that's about 20 minutes. Same temperature as the cobbler, so that's 350. Now that we have the 2 things that take the most time to bake in the oven, we're ready to move on to the next step. And we're gonna go ahead and make our main. And that is going to be a stuffing and turkey patty, which at first I wasn't so sure about these. I was a little bit skeptical, but these were actually delicious. The kids loved them. So 1 box of stuffing mix, and you're supposed to use canned turkey or chicken. Our Dollar Tree did not have any. It was completely sold out, but I do have some turkey that I cooked not too long ago, shredded and put in the freezer. So we're gonna use about 2 cans worth of shredded turkey. I just gave it my best bet. We took that out of the freezer and let it defrost a little bit. So in a large bowl, I add the stuffing mix, and then I'm gonna pour in 1 cup of hot water. Mix it together and let that sit for just about 5 minutes to get that stuffing, those crumbs, softened up a little bit better. Once that's sat for 5 minutes so that bread softens up, we're gonna dump in our chicken or turkey. If you're using the little cans from the Dollar Tree, you need to drain them and reserve the liquid, set that aside. In her recipe, the binder that she used was the reserved water from the cans plus 1 packet of brown gravy. Since we don't have any reserved water in the cans, I just went ahead and used an egg instead of opening a jar of chicken broth and only using a tiny little bit of it. And this worked great. The patties stayed together just fine when we were cooking. So we're gonna mix that all together. And then we're going to go ahead and scoop these out into balls. You want to make somewhere around 9 or 10 patties, so you can kind of judge how big the balls are based on, making sure you can divide it up into 9 or 10 pieces. The other dishes for today are real simple. We just got 2 cans of carrots. We're going to add some honey to them. Got a thing of mashed potatoes, going to make it according to the directions on the back. And then make some gravy to go on top of those potatoes. And then the last thing you need is a can of cranberry sauce. Whoops, let's turn that around. And that's gonna be used on top of these patties we're getting ready to fry. To use these on top of the patties, you just plop that jelly blob out of the can and you're just gonna smash it so it's kind of all mixed up and then it spreads easily like a jam. For the patties, I'm gonna get out another one of my cast iron skillets. We're gonna put a little bit of margarine on the bottom and get that started warming up. Let's make those balls. They really stick together nicely. I was really impressed. I kind of wondered if this was gonna be a hot mess, because sometimes you watch somebody do something in a video and you have no idea how they made it look so easy because it's a disaster when you try it at home. But no, these stuck together extremely well. You make the balls and then you put them in your pan and then you kind of smash them down just a little bit so that they're more like a hamburger patty. And again, they really stuck together well. You're going to cook them for 2 to 3 minutes on one side so they get a nice crisp brown on the bottom, and then you're going to flip them around and cook them 2 to 3 minutes on the other side. I was not sure about these, but like I said, the kids, and me included, really liked them. I think we might make these sometimes with just chicken, just for a quick dinner during the year, because the kids asked for more. And like I said, this recipe only made like 9, I think, and so the kids each had 1, and then they were like, well, are there any more? And I was like, no, we made a small batch because I thought you guys, wouldn't really like these, but they loved them. So definitely something to keep in mind. Let's flip those over. We'll get them cooking on the other side, and we're really almost done. I've got the mashed potatoes and the carrots just cooked according to the instructions and set aside. That's really easy. Everybody knows how to do that. So really just got to finish up these patties. At the same time, the cobbler was done, and so was that spinach dip, and everything really came out well, and everything was delicious. I always appreciate Dollar Tree dinner. This is really inexpensive. It was really easy to find all the ingredients because they're at the Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree even has ice cream. We have ice cream for on top of our cobbler, and it cost me less than $20 to throw together, and that's what it looks like all on a plate. We enjoyed it all. It was all very good. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all again really soon.